So today we're going to do a Yin Yoga practice for our wood element. I thought we might as well continue where we left off with the 5-element Qigong throughout the week. And as you might remember, the wood element is springtime, this sense of new growth and initiative and moving forward and expansion, but often we get locked into patterns and we struggle to find new things. We struggle to find initiative and expansion. So we'll see if we can move into some of these parts of our body. You might remember gallbladder meridian runs up the side of our hips, the back of our shoulders, right up to crown of our head. So we'll see if we can move into mostly hips today, some quite strong shapes that will hopefully get energy flowing back through these parts of the body. If you're one of those people that has endless to-do lists, that you're always problem solving, that as soon as you cross off things on your to-do list, you just write a bunch more stuff. You have just 2 seconds of satisfaction and then you make a whole other list and start again, then this is the practice for you. The sense of unwinding that idea of needing to understand everything, control everything, solve every problem, fix every friend, person, relative that might have a problem. We move towards this idea of just accepting whatever challenges we have, whatever people we disagree with as our teachers, so that whenever we feel in conflict with the world around us, we embrace that conflict as teaching, as learning, a way forward to help us become more adaptable, to help us become more used to change and impermanence and loss and being separated from things we love. And this is a lesson we need throughout our life. So we start to think of all the people that frustrate us, annoy us, that cause us issues as our teachers. And these greatest teachers help us to find space, to be more open, to be able to embrace possibility and change, and to be able to adapt and move forward. All right, so let's just start by closing down our eyes. We'll just have a brief meditation, and we're just going to do some breath work where we count to 5 on the inhale, and then we hold our breath, or we pause our breath at the top of the breath for 5, and then we exhale for 7. So essentially this is just as simple as extending our out breath to just change our relationship with our nervous system, moving into that rest and digest mode, that sort of body repair mode. And when we extend that exhale, this just helps us deal with stress, helps us deal with life with equanimity. And we have this available to us any time of any day, whenever we feel overwhelmed or tense or stressed. So we'll just start in this place. Let's inhale through our nose for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll hold for 5. And then we'll exhale for 7. Inhale for 5. Hold for 5. Exhale for 7. Inhale for 5. Pause for 5. Exhale for 7. So just see if you can find this breath yourself now. As your thoughts make you drift away, just come back to the count. This idea of just extending the out breath This helps us sink a little deeper. Helps us find that equanimity we need no matter what happens in life around us, no matter what we see on the news, no matter how our job or our relationships tend to become restricted or conflicted. Whatever happens just becomes our teacher. We truly believe the greatest teachers are those that disagree with us, that challenge us. They help us become unstuck. Let's see if we can call on this breath, this 5, 5, and 7 breath in each shape that we get to today in our Yin Yoga practice. If you don't already have them, grab a bolster and maybe even a blanket as well. We're going to start our practice today in a shape called frog. And essentially you want to be lying down on your belly. And I like to use a blanket just because we're extending our knees wide. So we want to take our hips out as far and as wide as we can. Drop our belly down onto the bolster. And then we try and drop our pelvic bone down. It's quite an ungainly shape. You might like to bring your head to the end of the bolster or onto your hands. If you don't have a bolster, just use a rolled up towel or whatever you have handy. You can come all the way down on the ground if you like. We're aiming to have strong sensation in the hip joints. Sometimes it can take a little while to get your body to sink into the shape. Once you find a little bit of stillness, so your pelvic bone is heavy, hip flexors are open. So allow the whole body to sink down into the support of the ground. And we'll see if we can come back to that breath. Inhaling for 5. Pause for 5. Exhale for 7. Inhale for 5. Pause for 5. Sigh. So you feel your spine really sink down as you take that breath out. You might like to open up the shoulders a little too. Drop the shoulders down either side of the bolster. Just explore what happens as you take the breath and feel the spine rise and fall. Be here a couple of moments, so as you breathe out, just allow everything to melt down. Let's take 3 more breaths. Slowly bringing the elbows under the shoulders and bring the hip joints in, legs under the body. We're going to take out the bolster and just drop the tailbone down. Just allow the pelvic bone to be heavy into the floor. Palms face down, so we're now in that Sphinx kind of shape. So you can move the shoulders a little away from the ears. Once you feel settled here, come back to that 5, 5, and 7 breath. Inhaling for 5. Pause for 5. Sighing it out for 7. Feel the spine drop down. And if your busy mind starts writing up the next to-do list, filling your diary, just remind yourself to just invite presence into the body with the next breath. Right now on the mat, nothing to do, nothing to achieve, no end goal. Just a sense of allowing emptiness, allowing in space. When we create room, we open up possibility for whatever is next. Might scan through the face and just see if there's any tension in any of the 300 muscles in your face. Maybe put on a small smile at the corners of the mouth. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. On the next out breath, sink even deeper. What do we feel right now? We'd like to go a little bit deeper into this shape. You might like to come up onto the hands. And maybe turn the fingers out a little, opening through the chest. Pelvic bone still stays heavy. Lumbar spine drops down. You can stay in that Sphinx shape. Let's be here 1 more minute. Let's take 1 more breath together. Pause the breath. Big sigh out. Let's come down all the way onto our bellies. Extend the arms behind, and you might like just to rock a little from side to side. Shoulders heavy. Whole body just surrendering down. Let's bring our hands under the shoulders. Slowly press ourselves up into all fours. We're going to bring our right knee into our right wrist and foot under the body. So we're coming down, maybe onto our elbows. We want strong sensation in the hip joint on the right side and the hip flexor. Just allow the body to be heavy. Once you settle in the shape, next inhale for 5. Pause the breath for 5. Sigh it out for 7. See if we can keep this breath pattern going. Maybe we sink a little deeper into this strong sensation in our right hip joint. I'd like to bring forehead all the way down to the mat if you want to experience this deeper sensation. Just feel into the shape, trust your body. Listen to that sense of discomfort. You always know the difference between discomfort and pain. Discomfort tends to be dull and a little longer. Pain tends to be short and sharp when we put our body under stress. With this kind of Yin Yoga discomfort, we're looking for it actively to relax our muscles, and in doing so, strengthen our joints and maybe release some of this tension we hold in our gallbladder meridian and our hips. Allow the chi pathways to become open and energy to flow freely. When we come out of these shapes, little piezoelectric currents of energy get released and move through our body. Maybe, just maybe, we find the parts that are a little sore, a little stiff or stuck. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Slowly walking the hands back towards the body. Let's drop down onto that right sit bone. We're going to take the back leg all the way forward. And see if we can stack our knees, drawing the feet to the side of the body. And this is usually called shoelace. And everyone looks a little bit different in this shape, but just see if you can get close to this idea of knees stacked on top of each other, feet coming around towards the sides of the body. Take a little while to experiment with exactly what sensations come into your hips, your IT band along the side of the leg, glutes at the back. Upper body is just heavy. Just allow gravity to drop your head down. Once you feel this strong sensation in the hips, just come back to the breath. Sometimes as we focus on these strong sensations in our body, our mind can feel like it's getting even busier. So many problems to solve, so many things to do. These yin shapes are so subtle. We're not moving too much. We take ourselves away from this idea of busy, 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 doing, needing to be active to achieve. Sometimes we can achieve many things while being still. In the Tao, they talk about the purpose of a house not being the walls or the roof or what you put in the house. The purpose of the house is the joy and connection you have with the people that meet within the house. So it's this sense of space or openness or emptiness that gives the house its purpose. A vase works the same way. The vase doesn't really mean anything up until the flower lives inside it. So we can be defined by space. We can be defined by emptiness. We spend so long always busy, 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 building shrines of possessions and achievements. Maybe it's time just to think empty, empty, empty. What can I let go of today? How can I create more space and more room to open up possibilities? Create new potentials, new adventures. Become open to whatever is next, whatever grand thing awaits us all. The end of the next breath, we'll slowly untangle our legs. And we're going to come back all the way down onto the ground, onto our bellies. Just allow the hips to maybe rock from side to side. With each yin practice you do, so you can always place in these kind of rebound shapes in amongst the practice. This is when our energy releases. Maybe our chi starts flowing. Allow everything to surrender. Slowly walking the hands up. We'll press ourselves up. This time we're going to switch to our left-hand side, bringing our left knee right up towards the wrist, foot under the body. Just allow everything to sink down. Maybe you'll come onto your elbows or all the way down. This time, strong sensation in our left hip flexor. Body is heavy. Maybe you'll find that 5-5-7 breath again. Inhaling for 5. Pause for 5. Exhaling for 7. Let's take our hands back under the shoulders. We'll drop onto the left sit bone this time. Swing the back leg all the way forward. We're going to stack our knees opposite side. Just take a little bit of time to shuffle around and find the spot that works for your body. And once you feel settled, just upper body, heavy, strong sensation in both hip flexors. You might like to join me in that idea of just walking towards the cliff, a sense of unknown, of being in discomfort and being okay with it. It's an unusual thing. We usually spend most of our life trying to not be in discomfort. Today we embrace it, we ask for it, we invite it into our body. So we just visualize walking towards a high cliff, not knowing what's next, maybe feeling a sense of trepidation. As we embrace the discomfort and get closer and closer to the edge of the cliff, keep moving, we keep going, just to see what happens. Eventually we get right up to the edge of the cliff and we see a secret little staircase leading down. We never would have known the staircase was there unless we went right to the cliff. And as we walk down, we see a beautiful white sandy beach. Perfect waves coming in, nobody around. Never would have been to the beach without the discomfort before. Sometimes we can feel like we spend all of our life running away from discomfort and running towards pleasure, good times. So we use this practice to remind ourselves that embracing discomfort helps us cope with transience, with change, helps us become stronger, more resilient. Let's take 2 more breaths together. All right, we've done a lot of work on our hips today. We're going to unwind the legs, untangle the legs. Let's take them wide just for a short amount of time. Just allow the body to fold forward without trying to stretch, just heavy body. Upper body is soft and should feel a strong sensation under the legs. Heels are heavy into the floor. Take another breath and maybe sink down as we breathe out. Walk the hands back in. We'll come down all the way onto our backs. And we're going to take our arms right above the head. Reach high above the head. Reach the feet away from the torso. And we're just going to walk our hands over to the right-hand side and then walk our feet over to the right-hand side. So we're in a banana type shape. Keeping shoulders heavy, tailbone heavy. Just opening a little through the side body. Just explore this opening. This is the whole length of our gallbladder meridian. Once you feel settled, come back to that breath. 5 on the inhale. Pause the breath. 7 on the exhale. See if you can just stay in this breath pattern in your own time. As you feel into the connection to the ground, just invite in this sense of calm and well-being, ease. Slowly walk the hands and feet back into the center. And then we'll we'll just move to the other side. Keeping the shoulders heavy. Hands and arms walk over, feet, legs walk over. Tailbone stays in the same place. Just embrace this banana-like shape. Side body is open. Slowly walk hands and feet back to the center. We'll draw the knees right into the chest. Maybe wrap the arms around and wobble a little from side to side. Let's extend the right leg long. And we're just going to bring our right hand to our left knee and extend it across the body. Keeping the shoulder heavy. Just come down as far as is comfortable. And then side up. The end of your next breath, slowly roll back onto the spine. Draw the knees in again. This time we'll extend the left leg out and just slowly guide the right knee across the body. Arms come out to the side, shoulders heavy. And our last few minutes in this breath, as we keep extending that exhale, we just allow our body to repair and restore itself. Maybe we've also allowed our mind to become a little quieter. Slowly rolling back onto the spine. If you'd like to, please take a few minutes in final resting shape in Shavasana. As you breathe out, just surrender into the support of the ground. Maybe just embrace that mantra of empty, empty, empty.